Good morning. I'm Jeff Hacker from Undiscovered Classics, all the way from Tampa, Florida. This is not my first rodeo. I've been to Des Moines 2 or 3 times with a car show at the Salisbury House many years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And I've got some great friends here, including Steve Myers, but also Tom Chandler, who now owns this. I had found this car. This is called an Allard Clipper. And the story about the Allard Clipper for me goes back about 12 years, where one of the original team that built it, Margaret Woolsey, became a friend. She was from England. And she was 29 years old when she joined the team that built the very first one. And she wanted to share with me because, as Steve knows in his group, I've always been interested in the fiberglass cars in the history, because fiberglass is the carbon fiber of its day. And often we think of fiberglass as, oh, it's just that old fiberglass stuff, it's just easy and so forth. In 1950s, fiberglass car was a carbon fiber car in terms of excitement. And people would go to see these, and people couldn't believe that Allard Clipper was going to have a fiberglass bodied car in 1954. It made the news. It was on his brochure. It became all sorts of attention. The actual first fiberglass car in the UK turns out to be a Singer called the Singer SMX, which is another neat car. But this one was really interesting, and they were planning 100 units in the first year or so. And it came out during the time of when bubble cars, the small little economy cars, were becoming very popular for taxation purposes. This is post-war Europe. So there were very few strong countries, and all the countries were recovering, particularly England. They were sold mostly in London area, and they quickly, within the 100 units, actually, they dwindled down to about 22 to 25. There were cost overruns, much more difficult to produce a fiberglass body. It was all brand new over there. A company called Horton Richmond, which is still around today, high level of precision. They made airplane propellers. They did the beautiful work on the body. And if you got into the body and looked at how it was built, there's no thin areas. It's all nicely, it's built like a stout fiberglass boat from the early 1950s, late 40s. Really well put together. In fact, in America, most of the fiberglass bodies were one panel. You cut doors and so forth. This actually has, I think, 9 or 11 panels, and you assemble it and bolt it together and so forth. So it's kind of cool. This particular styling on this car is from the 1940s and early 50s. They were actually it was a transition time when cars had bulbous fenders, pontoon fenders, 1940s, and transitioning to the flat style, the XK120 and other Americans. All of a sudden you went to streamlined, flat, and so forth. And that transition, where they were still showing fender lines and such, you can see here. And they're it kind of stands out a bit, and we've used that. It wasn't originally the paint scheme, but the fiberglass work and the design is all original. And so when we found this, Tom Chandler decided that we would go ahead and paint it to accent the design of that, to enhance it. And it really came out nice. It's a little more sophisticated design. There's so few of these around, people don't know much of them. There's none in America. The 3 that exist, we may have found a 4th one. We're going to find out in the next few weeks. But the 3 that exist are one in the UK, owned by Joe Curl, one's in Germany in a museum, and the 3rd one now people know is here. And I had found this, I had become friends with one of the original team members in 2009. I knew her the rest of her life. In 2016, an original owner contacted me because we put the stories up on the website, and we ran his story as well. And the Allard Clipper kept coming back in my life. And when this one showed up in the United States and the person who had it decided to sell it, they contacted me. So it's been a part of my life for 10 or 12 years. I'm pleased to finally see one. And although I didn't do the restoration, Tom Chandler is now the full owner, and he did the restoration and a beautiful job. I think it's a really, really neat car. Just over 10 feet long, pretty wide. Yes, 3 wheels is stable. Remember, all planes land on 3 wheels. It's got a 8 horsepower engine, which is actually kind of big for a car this size. Most of them were much smaller, about half the size in terms of horsepower. 3 drum brakes. It's a neat little car. We're still finishing the restoration. It runs and drives fine. We're still tweaking the suspension, making sure that everything closes and shuts properly, and for little things like gas cap. But usually it's the sort of car when it's done for a while, and that's what we're in the process of now. But we unloaded it and drove it down here, and Tom's having a ball with it. And we're going to later today put 5 of his, when they advertised it said family car, 3 in the front and 2 in the back. They said that the kids in the rumble seat in the back was for children or young, smaller adults. And they said, put your nipper in the clipper, because this is the Allard clipper. And that was actually on the brochure as well.